Researchers in Sydney believe they've found a key ingredient to a longer, happier life. According to our next guests, it revolves around mental silence.
Now, you can achieve it while you're walking the dog, swimming, cooking and many other pastimes and chores.
Matter of fact, I got it now.
Less than 15 minutes a day is all you really need. To explain this, we're joined by Dr. Ramesh Manocha from Sydney Uni and Rob Hutchin, whose life meditation changed. Good morning to you both, gents. Ramesh, what did this study find?
Well, it's one of the first of its kind in the world, and what we found was in long-term meditators in Australia, people who meditated for at least a couple of years regularly and up to 35 years regularly had better physical and mental health than the general Australian population.
And how long were these people meditating each day, Ramesh?
Well, we looked at an experience called mental silence or thoughtless awareness, which is part of which is the target experience, I suppose you could say, within this technique called Sahaja Yoga. And most of these people were experiencing that state of mental silence a few times a day.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, there must have been other studies done into this. What made this study, you know, so different, and the findings you think so exciting?
Well, most studies on meditation have looked at the short-term effects in novices, but our study looked at the long-term effects, because the original idea of meditation is that you should adopt it as a daily practice for the whole of your life. It's a lifestyle change, but no one's actually looked at that long-term impact, and so that's the unique aspect of our research.
Okay, now some of our viewers might be imagining, you know, incense, flowing robes, the little triangle they used to use in a country practice. Remember, Shirley?
Yeah, the Doors Riders on the Storm album playing in the background. Yeah.
Rob,
Yep.
it's not like that, is it?
No, obviously there's certain shonky people that come out of India that promote that because that's what they're selling, but no, we're just normal people doing normal things, you know, mortgages and kids and the full catastrophe, you know.
And tell us why you turned to meditation.
I was just a really naughty boy, you know. Yeah.
Wild, wild ways.
Yeah, leaving no particular stone unturned, and just looking for.
You had been using drugs. You sort of got off the rails.
Absolutely no stone left unturned.
Okay,
no
literally.
stone left
Right.
unturned.
So you needed to turn your life around.
Yeah, I was really naughty. Mum didn't know how to handle me, so at sort of 15, she said, "Look, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. There's the door." Very loving, but totally out of control I was.
So how'd you get into meditation, Rob?
I was just looking at a lot of various personal growth techniques and lots of other things, and then all of a sudden I started doing this technique, and all the sort of, if you like, risk-taking behaviour sort of evaporated overnight, and I just stopped. There was no withdrawal, there was no come down, there was no anything else. It just evaporated, it just stopped.
It's not that easy. I've tried to do this. It's quite difficult to meditate.
The real irony is that you don't have to do that much to make it work. It's very, very simple, it's very subtle, and most of the other techniques are sort of, you know, they're sort of like shunt meditation. They get you to think about all the rubbish that happened, you know, and...
Ramesh, you know, most people, as Sam mentioned, think about it being some kind of mystical experience, but, you know, in fact, the mental effect is produced by just physical effects, ultimately, isn't it? I mean, it's about the breathing and the way you hold your posture, and then that leading you to mindfulness, isn't it?
Well, actually, it's different to mindfulness. It's about mind emptiness.
Right.
And the relaxation process is important because it calms the body, it reduces the stress chemicals that drive excessive thinking activity, but ultimately it's about shutting off that background mental chatter that we all have, the thing that distracts us and makes us forget why we walked into a room to get something, or keeps us awake at night when we're trying to get to sleep. It's about switching that off, which is more than just mindfulness.
Yeah, okay, it's about emptying the mind, really.
Yeah. It's remarkably easy, and children are very good at it. In fact, most kids can do it, but as we get older, we forget the skill, and so the technique of Sahaja Yoga we found is very simple and effortless way to remember that ability.
We're going to leave it there. So if anyone's interested in following the Sahaja Yoga technique or finding out about the study, where do we find it?
freemeditation.com.au. They can learn it free of charge online. Takes 5 to 10 minutes. Do it every day. It's a skill for life.
freemeditation.com.au.
Correct.
I'm getting on that later on today.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Ramesh. Good on you.
Can you teach me, please?
In the break.
Thanks, guys. Great to talk.